All right, guys, it is Sunday evening and we're looking at the NASDAQ right now. We opened up a little bit lower. We got a little bit of a gap down here. And I could be potentially looking at a short. So we want to see how this 2-minute candle right here forms. We see a nice 5-minute candle is what we want to see here. VWAP rejecting. 2-minute candle here rejecting. But I want to see a little bit more price action before I want to commit to this trade. We'll do a quick stop over this flag if it doesn't work, or if it does, we'll aim for the low day and potentially further. So let's see how this plays out here, and we'll potentially get an entry right here. I like to watch the 5-minute. I want to see how it's going to reject off VWAP here. I want to see the 2-minute. We have 1 minute left on this 2-minute candle. So I want to see the price action forming here. I don't want to be faked out, but I also don't want to be late. So let's see how it goes. This is my broker, and I'll do a starter of 2 contracts. See how that goes. But if this wants to surge on me, I am not going to be taking a short. But you can see here we open up a gap down. This is the Sunday futures. And look at that. Look at that. This is why you don't just run into a trade, right? It looks great, right? We come down here. We have a nice big long extension down. We opened up below previous day low. We have a rejection here around VWAP on the 5-minute and the 2-minute, but waiting for that price action helped me avoid a loss. And now look what it's doing. It's surging past that level. So the right thing is always be late than be early. Always rather be late than early, because you can always pick up the pieces later. But being early and getting stopped out fast is not as good. But I do like that reaction off the 13 EMA off the 2-minute. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. We'll keep watching it. And maybe we'll take a quick starter here off this guy right here, off this candle. But so far, it's showing me that we're not going to be breaking down, and it looks like we might be gravitating towards this upper EMA here on the 5-minute, the 48 EMA. So that's why it's always best, guys, to let candles form and close rather than jumping in front of something, right? So this actually helped us avoid a loss for no reason. All right, so now we are currently rejecting off that VWAP on the 2-minute here, and this could be a potential short entry for me. Looks like here we are potentially closing underneath the 13 EMA. We have 1 minute left to go on this candle. I want to see how this candle forms, and maybe I'll get a short entry right here. I'll have a starter of 2 contracts, but I want to see the candle close below our 13 EMA here. So it's pretty important to let candles close so you can tell you, if it's a confirmation short or not. Because if we don't wait for a candle close, this could easily rip our faces off. And you can see here how this never closed, and now we're actually going the opposite direction. We need to see a nice closure below the candle. We need to see a change of character, right? So far we're surging up, but nothing is telling me to jump in short yet. But we're watching closely as this level is currently being rejected. But we're not jumping in front of this thing yet. I do not want to be early. I'd rather be late than early. Always rather be late than early. See what happens. Oh man, it's looking strong. It's looking strong. See that? Look at that, guys. This is what happens when you're not patient. And this is probably the hardest thing in trading, is being patient. It has to be the hardest skill to obtain in trading, is being patient. And this took me almost 3 years to really get okay at, is being patient, because after taking thousands of losses being early, you'd rather be late. You'd rather be late than being early and getting your face ripped off. So always step back, get your hands off the keys, and just wait for things to form. Wait for candles to close to confirm direction and confirm bias. Okay. So for now, we're chilling. We want to see how this candle closes. We want to see if direction has changed at all or if we're going to continue going up. Because so far we got that gap right here and we have the gap fill right here. This is the gap window. This is where it started. And this is the gap fill. So usually price tends to gravitate towards gap fill. 95% of the time, gaps get filled in the market, whether it be same day, next week, next month, doesn't matter. 95% of the time they get filled. So is that going to happen today or is that going to happen next week? We don't know, but so far it's looking pretty gravitational up towards the gap fill. But we're going to be patient. We're not going to be jumping in front of this thing like horny bears, and we're just going to let things form. And again, rather be late than early 100% of the time. It's looking all right, but I don't know. Not yet. Not yet. Absolutely nothing is telling me to get short yet. I want to see this candle close below the 13 EMA. Look at those soaks. See how that candle soaks up right away? Every time we try to make a dip, right away they get soaked. And that is telling me buyers are very present. There is absolutely no weakness in this candle right now. Look at that. Look at that. That's what happens when you're not patient and you don't wait. If I see the candle soaking like that and not closing lower, I'm not getting in anywhere. So look, we got a minute and 15 seconds left on this candle. We want to see a nice bearish closure below this 13 EMA. If it keeps getting soaked like this, this is giving me like my radar is going off in my head saying, do not step in front of this thing right now. And look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. No, this is definitely not a short right now. No way. See, you could have avoided a nice loss by getting in front of that. Just because you see some red candles going down, you got to let them close. If you don't let them close, they're going to fake you out and take your money. And this is why most traders lose, is because they run out of money, because they take premature shorts, they size up because they're tilted and angry, and then they end up losing their account. They end up getting discouraged. So better to size small, last as long as you can in this game until this stuff is automatic in your head. You need the reps. That's like at the end of the day what you need the most of is just reps. Because at the end of the day, this is all patterns that repeat every single day. Especially if you only stick to a couple tickers, then it becomes very, very apparent what the patterns are. All right, now we have a real change of character here. We have a nice dip below that 13 EMA. We have a retest of that 13 EMA. Now this could be a potential short entry for me. Let's see how this candle forms, and we will take a trade if we have a nice rejection here. Let's see what happens. This is the first real reaction that we wanted to see, a nice failure closure below this 13 EMA. And we'll look to get in if we have a nice reaction right here. Let's see. Let's see. Need that to flip red. Flip red. All right. I'm short. Here we go.
Order filled.
Short. Here we go. All right. We'll have our risk around this area right here. I want to see a 1 to 5 R before I even think about scaling my position out. And then we will de-risk half of our position here. And then we'll let the rest go to low a day. Let's see what happens. If not, I'll take a quick stop and then I'll call it a day. Let's see. So far, I like the way this is. This failed back below the 13 EMA, Now I want to see a nice rollover, and we'll take it down to at least a 1.5R. Let's see what happens. See what happens. If not, then we'll take a quick stop and we'll call it a night. Now this is my exit button right here. If this doesn't work out, no worries, and we'll call it a night. All right, I might get out here. Let's see what happens. I want to see this candle, what it's gonna do. All right, I'm out.
Order filled.
All right. That is not the candle you want to see, but the main thing is you stop out and you don't continue trading, right? Because that's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of cash, right? So if it doesn't work, all good. Stop out. We'll regroup and we'll come back. For now, that's not it, though. That's looking strong. Look at that. Wow. All right, let's see what happens at this 14 EMA. Excuse me, my 48 EMA here. Let's see if this rejects or if it's going to get strong on me. Let's see what happens. I want to see a red candle. I want to see a failure. Let's see. All right, I'm short. Trying one more. Trying one more. Let's see. Quick stop above that candle. See what happens. All right, it's going to be my last trade of the day. If this doesn't work, I'm going to close it down and be back tomorrow. Let's see. I do like this 48 as the last line of defense. If this doesn't work, then the day's over. Let's see. See what happens. It's just small size. Little Sunday night treat. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we close it up and we'll be back tomorrow. No biggie. All right, this is going to be the first scale spot right here. If we can get it up anywhere above VWAP, we'll take off half, and then we'll let the other half ride. See what happens. Take off one right here. Buy. Okay, so we got our buy signal right here, just above VWAP. We want to see it fail all the way down. Come on down. Come on down. See what happens. I do like the way it's looking, but it's got to be real. I want it to come down and actually tag my alert. Once this alert goes off, then I'll scale out half. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's going to be real or not. Need a nice flush. Need a nice flush. And then after this flush here, See what happens. We need one more push down, hit my trigger. That'll be my first scale spot right here, right above this green line. That's a VWAP. And if that hits, that'll take half my position out. And then afterwards, we'll try to get a 2R at minimum. But let's see what happens. See if she'll flush for us. We need this EMA to fail. So far it's looking good. We need it to come down here and tag this for us. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So far 1.5R is this alarm right here. Let's see if it's going to work. That's my 2R alarm. All right, give us a flush. Let's see. We need this candle to turn red and give us a nice flush below this 13 EMA. Let's go. Push down. Give us a nice hard push. Maybe she'll give this move back. Let's see though. It's got to be real. We're working with this uptrend line right here. We'll see if it breaks. I might even add to this position. Let's see. Let's see. All right, that looks good, but it's got to have a little bit more follow through. Let's see. Uptrend line needs to break though. See how we got 3 taps? 1, 2, 3, and we get a reaction on the 4th. That 4th needs to break. That 4th needs to break for us. Let's see. If it bounces off, that won't be good. I like how we closed here underneath these EMAs, but we'll see. See what happens with this next candle. We need to flush down. That's what we needed to do. Okay, that's looking better. Hit that for us. Hit that take profit for us. Let that. As soon as that alarm goes off, I'm hitting it. As soon as that alarm goes off, I'm hitting it. But we'll see. Let's see. We don't want it. We don't want it to flip green. We want it to be. We want it to hit that alarm right here. We needed to hit that alarm. Almost hit it. It was so close. It was so close. Let's see. Give us a push down, hit that alarm. Hit that alarm, and I'll push this take profit up. Hit that alarm, and I'll take this take profit, the first one, and then I'll ride the second one, either break even or minimum 2R. See what happens here. Not a huge fan of that reclaim. But again, we want to see what happens with this candle here. Don't love that. Don't love that at all. But we'll see. If it gets too strong, I'm out. Man, that was so close to my take profit. That was so close. Oh man, I might be out here. I'm out.
Order filled.
All right, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Minus $208. That's all right. Small loss compared to my green days, so that's okay. It's right here. Minus 208. That looked good, though. That looked really good. Still looks like it might do it, but I don't know. I don't like how it broke that trend line and quickly reclaimed. I'm not a huge fan of that. So this 5 minute, yeah. No, I'm gonna avoid it. I'm just gonna avoid it and call it a Sunday, because this is looking strong, and the way we reclaim that failure, that's telling me the buyers are very present. Look how close I was to that take profit, but that's okay. I followed my risk. I didn't get tilted. I didn't add to my loser. And most importantly, I followed my risk. So that's okay by me. All right, so recap. What I was looking for is I was looking for that retest on the 13 EMA. Now, the fact that we retested, but we surged past it, that told me to be hands off. And as soon as we came down and we closed back under that 13 EMA, that got me interested in the short. This inverted hammer got me interested in the short again. So that's where I went long the first time, stopped me out. And then I got interested back again, and it stopped me out again. So I took 2 losses in a row. That's kind of my rule. I'm not going to continue trading. Clearly not reading it right tonight. I lost $208 here. And I'm just going to regroup for tomorrow and come back and smash the day. All good. All right. Thanks for the recap, guys. And we'll see you on the live tomorrow at 9:45 in the morning. Peace.